There is a specific moment when a human life stops moving forward and begins moving inward. It is not weakness. It is not crisis. It is the entire system demanding a deep reset. The tension you feel right now, that sensation of being stuck while the world keeps spinning, is precisely the signal that something larger is being prepared inside you. For years, you built a version of yourself that worked. A polite, productive, adapted version. You learned which parts to hide, which to display, which to soften in order to fit into the spaces life was offering. And it worked for a while. But every structure built on adaptation has a limit. And when that limit is reached, the body knows before the mind does. You begin to feel a tiredness that sleep cannot fix. A growing indifference toward things that once moved you. A strangeness when you look in the mirror, not because you have changed physically, but because what you have been wearing on the inside has become too heavy to keep carrying. What looks like collapse is actually the beginning of a clearing. The energy you were spending on maintaining the performance begins to be redirected toward the parts of you that were silenced along the way, the creativity that was suffocated in the name of security, the restlessness that was called immaturity, the desire for something different that was buried under layers of responsibility and social approval. Those parts did not disappear. They waited, and now they are returning, not gently, but with urgency. This return shows up as a strange hunger, an irrational pull toward learning something new, changing direction, walking away from what seemed right. The world will call it a crisis, but crisis implies error. What is happening is not an error. It is a rescue. You are being called back to the parts of yourself that were left behind while you were busy trying to fit in. At the same time, your relationships begin to change in texture. Conversations that once flowed start to feel hollow. You try to explain what is shifting inside you, and you are met with blank stares or well-meaning advice on how to return to who you used to be. This is one of the loneliest feelings a person can experience. Not because you are being rejected, but because you are becoming someone that your current environment does not yet have the language to describe. The isolation that follows is not a punishment. It is a container. Nothing significant can be rebuilt while you are constantly seeking confirmation from the outside. As long as your sense of self depends on being seen and validated by others, you remain limited to what they are capable of seeing. The period of invisibility you are going through right now is not the universe forgetting you. It is the universe protecting the process. Beneath the surface, the real architecture of your next chapter is being laid down in silence. The instinct during this phase is to push harder, to force results, manufacture momentum, grind your way back to certainty. But the harder you push against something that is meant to transform, the longer the transformation takes. There is a different kind of effort required here. Not the effort of forcing, but the effort of allowing. Staying present without demanding that the present immediately makes sense. Doing the work without being strangled by the outcome. Releasing the grip just enough to let something new come through. This is where most people misread their own story. They interpret the silence as failure, the pause as falling behind, the dismantling as evidence that they were never meant for more. But the dismantling is the more. Everything that is being taken apart right now, the identity that no longer fits, the relationships that have run their course, the version of success that stopped feeling like success, none of it is being destroyed. It is being composted, broken down so that something with deeper roots can finally grow. The final shift happens when you stop treating your own greatness as a liability. For a long time, you have been making yourself smaller. Not out of humility, but out of fear. Fear of standing out, of being misunderstood, of claiming something and then losing it. But the weight you have been carrying is not the weight of your struggles. It is the weight of potential you have refused to step into. Every difficulty you have survived has been building something in you. Discernment, depth, the ability to see what others cannot yet see, because you have been places they have not yet been. Your best chapter does not begin when circumstances finally align. It begins the moment you stop asking the world for permission to be who you already are. The transformation you are going through is not preparing you for a life that might happen someday. It is the life unfolding right now, in the only place it ever could, inside you before anywhere else.